South Park's recent episode, Joining the Panderverse, has ignited a fiery discussion about Hollywood's evolving approach to representation, with Disney taking center stage in the debate. The satirical juggernaut pulled no punches, targeting the entertainment giant's recent creative choices, which many see as prioritizing modern diversity over storytelling depth. By highlighting the controversies surrounding Disney's live-action remakes, particularly the highly debated Snow White film starring Rachel Zegler, South Park offers a sharp critique of Hollywood's attempts at inclusivity and the broader cultural tensions they reflect. The episode's plot follows Eric Cartman as he experiences a nightmare in which his beloved characters are replaced by diverse women complaining about the patriarchy. The dream serves as a biting metaphor for how some fans perceive Disney's recent remakes and reboots: shallow efforts to inject inclusivity without meaningful storytelling. Cartman's panic culminates in him waking up and ranting, "They were taking all my favorite people and replacing them with diverse women complaining about the patriarchy." This hyperbolic commentary underscores a widespread sentiment among critics who believe that Disney's strategy prioritizes optics over creativity. South Park doesn't stop at skewering Disney's creative decisions. The episode features a caricature of Kathleen Kennedy, head of Lucasfilm, issuing directives like, "Put a chick in it and make her lame and gay." This exaggerated portrayal encapsulates a critique that has dogged Kennedy for years: the perception that her leadership relies on a formulaic approach to diversity rather than authentic innovation. The show's writers take the satire further by introducing the Panderstone, a magical device Kennedy uses to rehash old stories with superficial updates. This thinly veiled metaphor speaks to the frustrations of fans who feel Disney has reduced classic franchises, from Star Wars to Indiana Jones, into vehicles for performative diversity. At the heart of this critique is Disney's Snow White remake, which has become a lightning rod for controversy. Much of the backlash centers on Rachel Zegler's comments about the original 1937 animated classic. In interviews, Zegler criticized the portrayal of Prince Charming as a guy who literally stalks her, and emphasized that the remake would focus on Snow White's independence and leadership rather than romance. While intended to highlight the film's modernized approach, her remarks ignited a firestorm. Fans accused Zegler of disrespecting a beloved story and dismissed the changes as unnecessary. The controversy grew so intense that it overshadowed the film itself, with many predicting it could struggle to find an audience. This divisive response to Snow White is part of a larger cultural debate. On one hand, there's a demand for inclusivity and fresh perspectives in storytelling. On the other, audiences push back against changes they perceive as forced, inauthentic, or dismissive of original works. Disney's track record with live-action remakes, including The Lion King and The Little Mermaid, has further fueled this tension. While Halle Bailey's portrayal of Ariel in The Little Mermaid drew praise from some, others felt the magic of the original was lost in translation, amplifying skepticism about the studio's overall strategy. South Park captures this debate with its characteristic wit. The show critiques Hollywood's broader approach to representation while acknowledging examples of inclusivity done right. One character highlights Miles Morales, the Afro-Latino Spider-Man, as an example of thoughtful diversity that resonates with audiences. In contrast, they criticize Disney's tendency to swap characters' identities without creating compelling new narratives. The implicit message is clear: representation alone is not enough. Audiences crave depth, creativity, and authenticity. The episode doesn't just satirize Disney's creative choices. It also examines the cultural divide surrounding woke culture. Cartman's nightmare is an exaggerated version of the complaints voiced by some Disney critics, while the caricature of Kennedy amplifies the frustrations of fans who feel the studio has abandoned storytelling for social messaging. South Park deftly navigates both sides, offering a critique of the entertainment industry's shortcomings while poking fun at those who refuse to engage with changing cultural norms. For Disney, the stakes are high. The backlash against Snow White and other recent remakes highlights growing dissatisfaction among audiences who feel alienated by the studio's creative decisions. Rachel Zegler's handling of the controversy has only exacerbated the problem. While Halle Bailey weathered criticism with grace, Zegler's dismissive comments have fueled perceptions of entitlement and tone deafness, further polarizing fans. Memes, tweets, and critical essays have flooded social media, many mocking Disney's apparent inability to balance modernization with the timeless appeal of its classics. Adding to the tension is Disney's silence in the face of growing criticism. Insiders suggest the company is aware of the backlash, but has opted for a hands-off approach, hoping the controversy will fade. However, this strategy risks alienating fans who feel their concerns are being ignored. Critics argue that Disney's leadership, epitomized by Kennedy's caricature in South Park, is out of touch with what audiences truly want, engaging stories that honor the spirit of the originals while offering something new. South Park's parody extends beyond Disney, serving as a commentary on Hollywood's struggle to adapt to shifting cultural expectations. The show underscores the need for genuine creativity and representation that feels earned rather than performative. By skewering both sides of the debate, South Park offers a nuanced take on an issue that has deeply divided audiences and creators alike. The episode's final moments inject a surprising dose of introspection. Kennedy's character admits that her strategy of fighting bigotry with lazy remakes was flawed, saying, "All I ever wanted was to make great entertainment." Even Cartman acknowledges that constant outrage against woke culture is equally lazy, suggesting that both Hollywood and its critics could benefit from a more thoughtful approach. This rare moment of reflection reinforces the idea that the real issue isn't representation itself, but how it's executed. Meanwhile, Disney faces mounting pressure to address these criticisms. The studio's reliance on live-action remakes and reboots, while financially lucrative, has exposed a creative stagnation that fans and critics are increasingly unwilling to overlook. As alternative platforms like podcasts and independent creators gain traction, audiences are turning away from traditional media outlets that feel overly sanitized or agenda-driven. Disney's challenge lies in regaining trust by delivering stories that resonate with modern audiences without alienating longtime fans. The controversy surrounding Snow White and South Park's scathing satire reflect broader cultural tensions about identity, creativity, and corporate responsibility. At its core, the debate is about the balance between progress and tradition, how to honor the past while embracing the future. For Disney, the stakes couldn't be higher. As audiences become more vocal and social media amplifies every misstep, the company must adapt or risk further alienation. South Park's joining the Panderverse has sparked a conversation that extends far beyond one episode. By shining a light on Hollywood's growing pains, the show has underscored the importance of authenticity and creativity in storytelling. Whether Disney will heed this message remains to be seen. But one thing is certain, audiences are no longer content to passively consume entertainment. They demand more, and the industry will need to rise to the occasion. As the debate continues, South Park has once again proven its ability to capture the zeitgeist with razor-sharp humor and insight. The episode is both a critique and a call to action, challenging Hollywood to rethink its approach to representation and storytelling. For Disney, the message is clear. It's time to return to the magic that made its classics timeless while embracing the creativity and authenticity that modern audiences crave. Whether the studio can rise to the challenge or continue to face backlash remains to be seen. One thing, however, is certain. This is a cultural conversation that is far from over.